So hi, Welcome to Noise Podcast. I'm Shane,
I'm Glory.
and we're here with.
Harry from Away From Home.
We're gonna ask some questions today. I'm gonna start. So, what inspired you to start the project, and what does this project name mean?
So I started it back in 2016. It was actually just a band I started with a couple of my friends back at home. I just really wanted to get into kind of the local music scene. And the name actually comes from the With Confidence song Keeper, where the line is, "I keep my mind away from home." So that was my inspiration. Yes, I love
So
them
true.
so much.
So true. Me too. They're amazing. We actually got to talk to Jaden, so it was
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
It was huge. I've been listening to them since like 2017, 18, I don't know. So it was it was a big deal. So great. That's amazing. I love that.
That is amazing.
Yeah. So congratulations on your newest release, Friendly Reminder.
Thank you.
Of course. How do you feel the response to the EP so far?
It was pretty good. I liked it a lot. I was very happy because this whole release, I feel like I felt I was able to put more into the release itself. Like with my first EP that I put out last April, Without Me, that one was much more just sudden. I just kind of put it out. But this one, I kind of put more into the design. There was more meaning behind it. It was more coherent as a whole. And I feel like as a result, I didn't get quite as many reactions from it, but the reactions I got from it were much more positive. I felt like it was much more appreciated than my last work.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's good.
I was very happy about that.
Definitely.
That's always a positive. People appreciating your work.
Yeah.
So, is there any meaning behind the cover art? And is this title a nod at water parks?
It wasn't quite a nod at water parks. I had written a song called Friendly Reminder before the whole water parks thing had happened.
Okay.
But I chose to use it as the title of the EP. Sort of like the song was going to be on it regardless. I was kind of digging through, going over a bunch of different names. I was thinking kind of mental health was my overall like idea that I wanted to go with. I was going with some things like self-care was one, but then that ended up being like the name of the Yours Truly album that came out.
Yeah.
If you guys know them, kind of things like that.
Too.
And
Yeah, we interviewed them as well.
then, wow, you guys are all over. Yeah. So that I ended up going with Friendly Reminder almost as a nod to water parks in a sense, but the song did already exist. And the album art, there's a bit of meaning behind that. It was kind of the whole EP, I feel like, bounces all over a lot and feel like there's some kind of angrier songs like Drown or 11. Losing Myself is another like sad song in it. So is Habits. And I feel like a lot of it was kind of rooted in like sadness a little bit. Or anger, just kind of more negative emotions. And Friendly Reminder was the one really like upbeat one, the very like happy, feel good song in a sense. So the kind of my mindset with it is that's the song that kind of lifts it up, makes it happy. And I kind of associated that with like medication in a sense.
Okay.
And that's where the pill bottle came in. And that was kind of the basis for like, the pill bottle ended up being just kind of the logo for the album in a sense. That's on some merch designs I put out. I have like stickers all with the pill bottle and all that stuff. The flowers were just because I like flowers and thought it looks cool.
Yeah.
But
really
yeah,
cool.
that was kind of the general design, the idea behind it.
Okay, that makes sense. Can you tell me a little bit about your writing process for Friendly Reminder?
So this Friendly Reminder as a whole was much more, this one I kind of sat down and decided I wanted to put out more music. So again, compared to my last EP, that time around, I just, it was more so once quarantine and COVID happened, once I was locked inside, I just started recording some songs that I had already written. But Friendly Reminder as a whole was much more, when I was back home, I was back in my makeshift studio in my basement over break. And I was like, okay, I'm home. This is when I'm going to work on music. I can do this now. I can write some stuff. So like, 11 was the one that was kind of like the start to the EP in a sense for me. Other than Drown and Carry Me Home had already been out at that point as singles. But 11, I sat down, and that was a big result of I'm back home. I'm back with my drum set was the big thing. I hadn't been able to play drums for the 4 months I had been at college.
Yeah.
And I just sat down and started banging some stuff out. And that song came like that. Yeah, I think a lot of it was just me deciding I'm going to sit down. I'm going to write music much more deliberate than the stuff I had done before. And I went back, revisited some older voice memos and all stuff that I had and decided I'm going to finish these songs that I started writing, and sat down and put a lot more, it was much more deliberate.
Yeah.
Okay.
That makes sense.
So I want you to pick your favorite lyric off the CP and tell us the meaning behind it.
Ooh. I'm going to go with something from the song Habits. I think lyrically that song was, I was more proud of that one than stuff I had done before. I think just the refrain in that song was, I'm kicking my old habits, throw them away because I could do better without it. That song as a whole was just kind of about how it's the impact of like environment on headspace, and how I can be happier and get out of bad habits of mine. It was really a result of like how my mindset changed once I moved up to school 6 hours away from where I live. And it was the new environment kind of allowed me to break some old habits, kick my old habits, kick bad habits, and how as a whole it made me feel better. And that was the whole idea behind that song. And then the second verse, the second half of it goes back into the other side of it is being back home puts me back in the same habits. And I kind of has that contrast there. So there's a lot of meaning behind that song as a whole.
Oh.
Definitely. Wow. Great. So you kind of went a little bit in depth for that song, but if you want, you can go a bit more in depth for the entire EP. Can you tell me where your headspace was while creating it?
It was pretty all over the place. I think as a whole, it was, I was, even though the songs are kind of a bit negative emotion wise, it was, I was in a pretty good mentality in that point in time. It was very much like feeling good about the music I was like making. I was feeling a lot better about my abilities to make music and getting better at recording. One big idea I had when going in is I record everything just in my basement at my house with like a little handheld studio thing. And this one was a lot more, I'm going to be much more deliberate in the production of the songs too. That was a big thing on this one, was making like, I wanted things to sound better. I wanted things to sound bigger. And I tried to do that. I used some more like synth and put more into the songs. Yeah, a lot. This one, just kind of my headspace overall was much more about, it's just kind of about making something. And I felt good about what I was making at that point in time.
All right.
So it was just getting creative again, I guess.
Yeah, it was just taking advantage of my short time back at home, that short time back with all my resources, and just while I'm here, I'm going to get creative. I'm going to do some stuff again.
Yeah.
Okay. Was it like you willingly like, okay, I think I'm going to try and do this? Or was it like, no, I have to make something?
It was kind of in between. Like I knew I was going to be going home with something. I had wrote a couple of songs while I was here too. And I had a lot of things to work with, but I didn't force it too much until like I was like kind of in the final stretch. I kind of let things happen, let songs, like I would just be downstairs playing drums, and then somewhere in there just like be like, oh, I like that, I'll plug in a guitar and I'll just see what comes from it. And then things just kind of came together. And then once I got into the last like week and a half before going back to school, I was like, okay, I got to finish these songs.
Yeah.
That was the point where I'm like, okay, I have to finish this now. This is the last time I can do it, so I got to do it now.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, that's fair.
So this question should be super, super quick. Off the top of your head, I want you to describe this EP for new listeners in 3 words. No more, no less.
Your favorite band?
Okay, solid. That's good. That's good. Your favorite band? Simple. Very simple. So while going through the EP, is there a certain feeling you want your listeners to have?
I don't think I really have anything in mind. I think music in general can mean a lot of different things to a lot of different people. It kind of depends on what someone's personal headspace is when they're going into and listening to it.
Mm-hmm.
I think some of the songs I want people to listen to and be like, I want to go flip a table now. Like I want someone to be like listening to Drown and wanting to like mosh to that.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, like I would like it to kind of hype people up. I would like people to be listening to most of it, not all of it. You can't get hyped to like the acoustic songs or anything, but I would like people to get into it. I don't really care what you feel listening to it, but I would like people to feel something.
Okay.
All right. Valid.
That's valid. Mm-hmm.
So where do you see the project in the next 5 years, and are you working on anything new that you might be able to spill the beans on?
Tell us everything.
Yeah, that's what I mean when we say spill the beans.
Yeah. So right now I'm trying to get some, I mean, I've been doing this myself for the past year. I'm trying to get some more people on the project while I'm, up at school, trying to get into like some scenes up here, and get some more members, get some more people in on the writing processes and be able to play full shows, because I can't really do that. Like I can't play 4 inches by myself. So I'm working on that right now. I also got a little bit of new music in the works. I started doing some, I mean, I've already been I've been finishing up writing a couple songs that didn't quite make the cut for Friendly the Reminder because I didn't have time to finish them.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking I might sometime down the line, I don't know if those will be on some just future work or if I'll release them kind of as singles and do like a B-sides type thing, just kind of release them as songs that didn't make the cut because I didn't get to finish them. The other thing I've also been working on too is I've been doing some reimagined type songs. So I've been doing I did like a piano version of one's Away From Home song. I did acoustic versions of a couple, kind of things like that, taking advantage of the fact that I don't have a drum set here. So I'll work with what I have and use that as an opportunity to do some different things.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So no idea when any of that's going to come out. But that's stuff I got going on right now.
All right. That's a lot. All right. So for the last couple questions, we're actually going to shift away from music, if that's okay with you.
Perfect.
6. So we're going to go straight to death row.
Boom.
So
Nice.
it is, yeah. If you're on death row, what would your last meal be with a drink?
Okay. I've thought about this one recently. This has come up. I don't want to talk about it.
I was going to say, what? Okay.
It's
Just
not
thinking
important.
about it.
Yeah. So 2 weeks ago, I was at the dining hall with my friends here, and they had Swedish meatballs, and that they hadn't had them before since I've been here, and I was so happy. And I looked at my friends after eating those and said, I would be happy if I died right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna say Swedish meatballs for the food, and then I'm gonna go with I'm gonna say a raspberry brisk, like the iced tea.
Ooh, yeah. Taste.
Yeah, that's the one.
All
That's
right.
good.
So if you could live in one fiction world for a week, where would you live?
Okay, that's a tough one.
Mm-hmm. It's very important.
Yeah. My mind went straight to Pokemon right away, but I also don't want to get killed by something. That's kind of terrifying.
Yeah, just a little bit.
A little bit. I want to be like a Scooby-Doo villain and just cause problems for a week.
Okay,
that's a new one. We haven't gotten that one.
Yeah, we haven't.
We haven't gotten that one. You want to be the villain. You don't want to be a part of the gang.
Yeah, no, I want to just go cause some like mildly inconvenient problems for a week.
Yeah, it's always mildly inconvenient. It's never
Nothing
like, oh
real-
my god, people are gonna die. It's always just like, oh no, the park is closed for 2 days. Who did this?
I just like mildly like cause some problems for like I can just like throw like a sheet on, like be like a ghost with like a sheet over my head, and people will be terrified. That's so funny. That would be so much fun.
You have a point. You have a point. That's good. That's clever. All right. So I have the honor of asking the last question. Every single person we've spoken to has actually said it is the most important question. What is your favorite color?
Oh, pink, easy.
Do specific shade of pink.
I like pastel pink, like a lot of like light pastel pink. That's I wear a lot of that, but also like fuchsia is another good one.
So
Yeah.
true.
All right.
Those are
Solid.
good.
So as Gloria said, that's all the questions we have today. Is there anything that you would like to plug?
Follow me on Instagram at Away From Home NY. I got a link in my bio there for merch. So buy an Away From Home t-shirt. You will be the envy of all of your friends who've heard of me, which is probably not most of them.
You'll still be the envy though.
All
Yes.
Mhm.
Well, thank you for staying with us. It's been Harry from Away From Home, and we're the Good Noise podcast.